What's up and welcome to Albino Rhino Music, and today we put Taylor Swift's Folklore up against her undeniable pop hit 1989.
I like running my bike at night because I get burned in the broad daylight. I'm just a blind out wider trying to get home.
So in these versus battles, I do a track by track battle where I have track one face up against the track that's in the same slot as it, and there's one winner. And so the album that ends up having the most track winners is the album that comes out the champion. So it's not my personal favorite, it's not which one did more for this person's career or anything like that. It's literally which song do I prefer when they face off against each other, and then which one ends up winning the most. So they're two very big albums for her. I had both of them in my S tier, and I'm gonna try, as I'm sitting here, it's one thing talking about Taylor Swift albums as a 40-year-old person with a group of my friends. It's another thing doing this here by myself, so I'm gonna try to take this as seriously as possible. Again, if you saw our tier list, I genuinely think Taylor Swift is a great musician. Do I listen to her on my own? No. When my kids or wife are around? Sure. If you clicked on this and you don't know me, then you're probably like, what is this 40-year-old middle-aged white man? What does he have anything to say about Taylor Swift of any importance? Why should we listen to him? You don't have to. You do not have to. In fact, you can tell me how I'm wrong in the comments, anything like that. Totally fine. So anyway, let's get to this 1989 versus Folklore track battle. So first off, I did cut a few songs off of Folklore. I wanted them to have I wanted them to have even number of songs. And the songs I have chosen to cut out of Folklore is the song Epiphany, is the song This Is Me Trying, and the song Hoax. And yeah, I did pretty much think those songs would lose no matter what they faced, and I wanted it to be a more interesting battle, and it needed to be even track listing, so I took those 3 songs off. So when we get to those songs, just know that when I skip them and I'm like, track whatever is this, and you're like, that's supposed to be Epiphany, I took that song off. So here we go with track 1 versus track 1. Now on 1989, we have the first opening song, Welcome to New York, and on Folklore, we have The One. Look, Welcome to New York, when this album came out, I was dating my wife. We got married in 2015, and so we went to Manhattan to New York on our honeymoon. We both love New York, and so this album, like songs from this album, were playing everywhere in New York when we were there. And my daughter was 3 at the time, so this album was huge for her. She was into pop music with my wife, and so a lot of these songs got played in cars, when we were out shopping, things like that, at a very big time in my life. So I have nostalgia for it, and especially the song being Welcome to New York, when that's where we went on our honeymoon, and I just love New York City. I think it's a good song. It's a good little pop song. However, look, I just lean more. Obviously, we talk about rock a lot on this channel, and music that's not just pop. And The One, I really like this album, Folklore. And I think The One is an awesome song, and it really sets the tone for what is to come with this album, and set your expectations up pretty well. She's just mastered, even with something so kind of out there and folksy and different, the art of her hooks and melodies and her harmonies, and they're fantastic on this song. So starting off, first track, probably an unpopular opinion for a lot of Swifties picking a Folklore song over 89, but I do. For the first one, I picked The One. So that puts Folklore up 1-0. So track 2. For Folklore, we have the song Cardigan, and for 1989, we have the song Blank Space. Cardigan's a great song. Real folksy, obviously. Real, can feel like you're sitting by a fire in a cottage with the snow outside, drinking a cup of coffee, or maybe just hot lemon water. I don't know. It's a great song. It's a very good song. But man, it's going up against Blank Space. And Blank Space is just too earwormy, too catchy, and like the beats in it are awesome. It's just a relatable song on top of being so earwormy. And it just is classic to me. I have to pick Blank Space over Cardigan. So that gives each each album 1 point. So they're tied 1-1. So on to track 3, you're going to get a lot of hypocrisy from me, or you're going to think it's hypocrisy or me speaking out of both sides of my mouth. That's fine. I don't care. It's just my opinion, and I have the right to have an opinion be fluid and change sometimes, right? So with that said, the next song, Style, on 1989, that's a huge song too. The James Dean Red Lip song, man, like that was everywhere, just like Blank Space, and it is earwormy and hooky too. And so you would automatically think going into this, probably it'd be like, well, he's definitely going to pick Style. Over on track 3 on Folklore, it's the last great American dynasty. And no, you're wrong. I'm picking the last great American dynasty. I think this song's awesome. It's got a little more folksy rock to it. Her lyrics are awesome. I said this in the tier list. You probably hate it. I love when Taylor Swift says the F word. I love when she cusses. I think it's awesome. And I think this song is great. It's a little more upbeat than the last one. And the melodies here are fantastic. I choose the last great American dynasty, which puts Folklore up 2-1. So next, that takes us to track number 4, which on 1989, we have the song Out of the Woods. And then on Folklore, we have the song Exile, featuring the indie folk artist Bon Iver. I like Bon Iver. I mean, being someone that's really into indie rock music and stuff like that, I mean, I've known who he was for a while. I thought it was cool that they worked together on this, especially with the vibe she was going for with this album. He fits that perfectly. And Bon Iver's definitely not one of my favorites. So like I said, I was aware of who he was, but I mean, I can definitely feel like sometimes his music gets a little boring. And like if this song were going up against Style, I would probably pick Style over it. I just love that song too much. But it's going up against Out of the Woods, which is a catchy song, but it's not catchy because it has that earworm hook in the same way of Blank Space and Style. It's more catchy because the repetition of, are we out of the woods? Are we out of the woods? You know, it's just the same thing over and over and over again. And I think that Exile is constructed so much better as a song. Really listen to these two songs back to back and know Exile is a much better song. So that takes us on to track number 5. And 1989 was All You Had to Do Was Stay, and track number 5 on Folklore was My Tears Ricochet. So, this is just going to be a quick one. I picked All You Had to Do Was Stay. I actually dug this song. It's a nice little song, a little change of pace for this album so far. And not like deters from the sound, but it's just a little change of pace from the songs that have been happening. And I just think that My Tears Ricochet is just a little boring. It's a little bit boring. I don't really care for it a ton. So with that said, I chose All You Had to Do Was Stay. Now the next one, we have track number 6. The song Shake It Off on 1989's original album, and then Mirror Ball on Folklore. This is Shake It Off. That's all I have to say, is this is the song Shake It Off. The song that was everywhere. The song that everybody knows. The song that makes you feel good. And it's a great anthemic song for anyone that's going through things, for people hating on them, especially in the time that it was written in 2014. We were really starting to just like, that cancel culture was really getting huge. Shake It Off kills it. All right, so that takes us to track number 7, where we have I Wish You Would on 1989 versus 7. Fitting, it's called number 7. I Wish You Would's a cool song. It wasn't like the radio hit, but it had that nice pop feel. I mean, the crazy thing about 1989 is a lot of these songs could have been radio hits. A lot of the ones that were not big on the radio or were not singles or anything like that, like this song, I Wish You Would, this could have been a radio hit. And it's a really good poppy song, continuing that whole just feel of this entire album. And I guess you could say 7 continues the feel of Folklore because it's a very folksy, slow song. It's really boring. I mean, this is one of those ones, there's a few different songs I debated on cutting. Mirror Ball was one of them. This is one of them. I Wish You Would definitely beats Folklore. We go on to track number 8, where we have Bad Blood and the song August. Now, this song August is good. It's not like it's slow, it's a little more, and all that, but it's a very popular song of hers off this album. And it is a little more slow and stuff, but it's going up against Bad Blood. Bad Blood is one of those songs. It was July of 2015. The album had been out for like 9 months, and it was like one of her later singles. And this song was everywhere. When we go shopping in New York, ooh, baby, I got bad. That song was everywhere. And so there's a lot of nostalgia for it, for sure. Again, just the beats are awesome on this album. Just really cool beats. It's got more liveliness and nostalgia to it than this song August, which is one of my lesser favorite songs. I don't necessarily feel the need to skip it on Folklore, but Bad Blood definitely beats this song. So that gives 89 another win, bringing it up 5-3. Which takes us to track number 9. And this is the first song where I said I had to cut 3 songs from Folklore. So I cut out This Is Me Trying, which brings us to Illicit Affairs. And then that is going up against Wildest Dreams. Man, I mean, Illicit Affairs. It kind of continues this little, to me, a little bit of a boring streak of this album. And there's this little strong streak here in Wildest Dreams of these strong pop love songs and stuff that are really good and feel good. I mean, this is an album that 1989 is an album that you put on because you want to feel good, you're having a party, or you're going out, or you want to make your kids in a good mood or whatever. Whereas Folklore you put on because it's a rainy day and you're sad, or it's just a different vibe totally. Wildest Dreams, man, it beats Illicit Affairs. That gives 1989 another win, bringing it up 6-3 from Folklore, just running off with it. Even though 1989 has just definitely taken off with some victories here, I think this is where some of Folklore is very strong at the beginning of this album, and it's very, very strong at the end. There's a little more fluff and boring stuff in the middle to me, whereas 1989 is really strong throughout, but definitely kind of like a typical pop album. The stronger stuff is at the beginning and middle, and some of the end kind of fades out. That's a very typical for a pop album. So anyway, with that said, track number 10, How You Get the Girl. But the song Invisible String, I just really like that song. A really folksy. I keep saying folksy, and I need to stop saying the word folk, even though the album is called Folklore, and it was meant to be kind of have that folk feel to it. But anyway, it's a great song. I love it. I just think it's better. To me, How You Get the Girl is just kind of like a lesser of some of those other pop songs with really good beats on that album, whereas Invisible String really kind of picks this back up for me and keeps me engaged throughout the whole song. Her lyrics on it are really good as well. Same thing with the next song, This Love on 89, which is a very, very good song. This Love is actually really good, and I really dig the acoustic guitar on it. Kind of like, a change of pace from, like I said earlier, on 89, which is nice on an album like that, which has heavy, pop beats and stuff like that with it. And it's more her vocals and melodies and harmonies with each other that are really carrying a lot of those songs. But then on Folklore, we have the song Mad Woman. This is an awesome song. This is an awesome song. I love the lyrics here, whether she's talking about herself or not. It's such a good song. Again, I love it when T Swift cusses. So my bias is coming in here there too for that. But aside from that, this musically, this song is really awesome. With that said, Mad Woman takes the victory over this love. All right, that brings us back up. So it was 6-3. So Folklore is 1-2. It's now 6-5. It brings us to track number 12, I Know Places. Now this one's kind of, and it's going up against, again, I skipped the song Epiphany, so we're skipping that and we're going to Betty. So again, if it was going up against Epiphany, I mean, it probably would have won, but this is where it starts to just be kind of like some filler tracks for me, these last couple songs on 1989. And if you think that's blasphemy and you love every song on here, that's fine. Just let me know that I'm wrong. But again, I put it up against the song Betty because I cut the song Epiphany, so that brings that up. And I love this song. Like, legitimately like this song a lot. I like the lyrical content of it. The storytelling of it is awesome. How it starts soft with this acoustic guitar. Her melodies on it, not just on the chorus, but on the verses, are so good. And they just flow so flawlessly. And I love how the bass guitar comes in again. You know, you got these generic beats kind of on the 1989, and then you not only have her awesome vocals here, but you have this musicality that's really good. And when that drum beat and bass guitar comes in, it feels so full. So Betty, like, again, like I said, this album, Mad Woman and Betty, even stronger than The Invisible String, this album gets really strong towards the end. And so it definitely beats that one. So that tie makes it a tie, 6-6. Again, like I said, maybe if I was looking at 1989 as a whole album, it wouldn't be this close right here towards the end. But I'm doing it these track by track listings. And so track number 13 off 1989 is Clean. And the song it's going up against is Peace. It's the song after Betty. Hoax is cut off because I don't have any more songs to put up against Hoax, so that's kind of why it's cut off there. But it's going up against Peace, which again is a really good song. And keeping my whole theme of these last three songs I've talked about on Folklore have Taylor Swift cussing. Sorry, I dig it. But I also just dig the song Peace. The acoustic guitar sounds awesome in it. It's a really good song. Really good, again, melodies are so good on it. Now you can see, if you've done the math, we were 6-6. Folklore has taken it. Folklore has 7 wins. 1989 has 6. So Folklore is the champion. In this versus matchup, and as someone who, like I said, enjoys that music more, the musicality that happens in Folklore definitely is probably having me pick tracks over the pop, the heaviness of 1989, the ones that don't have that nostalgic feel for me. So with that said, if you disagree with me, or you would have picked a different song, or you think I'm wrong for cutting out the songs I cut out, let me know in the comments. If you think I have no right talking about T Swift, that's fine. Let me know in the comments. But thanks for joining us on Albino Rhino Music. Check out our Taylor Swift tier list. Check out our Guess the Song episode where we guess T Swift, 21 Pilots, and Taking Back Sunday songs. So thanks for joining us on Albino Rhino Music, and we will see you next time.
I like riding my bike at night because I get burned in the broad daylight.